Hello, my name is Alun. My pronouns are he, him, and today I'm running the last but one of a short series of Grimwild using Gaelenvale as a kind of scaffold for it. You want to know more than that, go back and see episode one. But I will say this game is organized as part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community's monthly calendar. And if you search Open Hearth Gaming Community, you'll find out more about us. Come and play with us because it certainly has broadened my horizons in terms of playing with people around the world and playing so many different games. So there we go. We are expecting a third player. Our fourth player is busy at a face-to-face convention, but we are expecting our third player at some point. But we're going to make a start. So any before session mechanics we need to engage with? Robbie, I think you were about to tell me something.
Yeah, so with my character, the Warlock, I have two Patron's gifts. I have to roll two six-sided dice, and I'll store the results of those, and then I can utilize those to substitute for any. It says any roll D6 by anybody. I can substitute that. So I'll go on and uh, roll these. So a one and a three. That's what I got.
Yeah, I look forward to you substituting something with that one.
I think last session, it was actually a low number
That's
that we.
right. You wanted it to erode a dice pool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So
they all have a value. Um, is there anything our paladin needs to do before we kick off? I don't think so.
I don't
No, everything looks
think
like it's
so.
been set. Oh, that authority. You can mark that push because that's an extra push that you get with authority. Um, and you are now at no second. So that's okay. No, it's all where we should be. Um, in summary, we finished last time on something of a dun 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 when we discovered that Lidi, the innkeeper's daughter, who everyone seems to like, was in fact a disciple of the dark and had killed the local priest in a most public manner. But collectively, you hunted her down. And again, my recollection is that she explained that uh, she was engaged in raising Valetha, this dark, death related um, anti hero, I suppose, or demigod or spirit, who knows, from the time of the darkness generations ago. Um, and that the death of the merchant and the death of the priest were both souls sacrificed to Valetha. And so I have added, and on the clocks tab, I've added Valetha rising, sacrifice souls, power her rising. Um, there are dedicated disciples on intent on her on success, and at zero, that four dice pool, bad things happen. Um, and I also still have in place the Disciples of the Dark Clock. Um, Complex local histories. It looks like not everyone, not the Disciples of the Dark, were not excised completely from communities. And there is currently a three dice pool on the Disciples make their presence felt again. Um, the other thing I did was to no, well, maybe we'll come to that once we've got playing, because I think that events from last time have had a significant effect on the citizenry of Galen, the town of Galen. So, where do we pick up Sir Windemir after the events of last time? Is it immediately after the exposure of Lidi last time, or is there is as a bit of time passed and you're somewhere else, Windemir?
Uh, gosh.
Oh, and sorry, I've just remembered there were a couple of requests in wishes last time to have a bit of
Mhm.
interaction. So I don't know if you want to have a scene with the two of you together. I'm not twisting arms, but I've just remembered that was a wish.
Yeah. I mean,
So frame it for me. Where do we see the pair of you?
Valeria, Rob, would you like maybe we can interrogate the bar keep, who Lydia's father, or do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, and I'm going back through my notes because I was thinking of I like the idea of the barkeep there. And did am I recalling correctly that we know that Valetha, um, oh, she's interred in the Crimson Highlands.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I may retcon that a bit because I was in my mind's eye. I had three sessions to play with. Now I've got two.
Mhm.
So I am imagining a finale in which Valetha rises. I will do this either way. If you want to focus this episode on the town, then maybe Valetha might rise here, depending on events. Or if you want to use that as an excuse to head up the Vale, I'm happy to go that way.
Yeah. Because I was thinking of like maybe a scene on the edge of town with the barkeep, but we could be looking towards the horizon where the Crimson Highlands are, and kind of we're kind of talking about what has happened, you know, kind of we realize I guess we would be stuck between the two places then, right? We would be both seeing, looking off in the distance to the Crimson Highlands, but we also have on the other side Galen that has its own problems that have been stirred up.
Yeah, no, that works for me. Um, uh, and I think it's obvious that Arne Jackson, the innkeeper, is distraught. You know, he's slumped. His face is pale. His eyes are red from weeping. Um, and he's come with you, I think, because he's at a loss. He just doesn't know what to do with himself, and so you've led him away from the inn as a kindness. I don't know. Um, but what are you interested in knowing, Windermere?
Basically, if he has information, like was his daughter hanging out with certain people that she never hung out before with? Was
With
she
bad
gone on
people.
strange? Yeah,
Um,
any odd behavior that he might have
well,
dismissed at the time.
well then, I mean, I think I go with presence to see if you can tease anything out of him. Oh, sorry, yes, because we've got a kind of slightly disjointed start today. I'm going to give each of you one spark because we've had an interval. So me asking you what happened in our last episode in order to earn spark seems harsh. So take a spark. Um, but yeah, so Windermere, do you want to? Is there anything you think you can do that would boost that two dice?
Yep. Uh,
I, I'm go- I'm
consider
gonna
with
I'm gonna give
yes.
you a d6 because I think the man is terribly vulnerable.
Okay. Um, let's see. All right, so we could also add dice for getting a tangle, suffering a disaster.
Yeah. Um,
Remind me what a tangle is?
Yeah, a tangle is you can tell me why this is going to be difficult, and I will add a thorn.
And a thorn is
Is a D8 where 7 to 8 would reduce your level of success or increase your level of failure, depending on how you look at the sequence.
Okay. Yeah, let's add a thorn, tangle and a thorn.
Okay, so why is what's the nature of the tangle here? What is I was prepared to give you a D6 because he was vulnerable.
Mhm.
What's the nature of the tangle you want to put in here? Because that will earn you a spark.
Oh, the tangle is, yeah, he's he's wary of everyone now. Maybe he can't feels he doesn't necessarily be.
So he's vulnerable, but he's it's difficult for him to trust anyone. I mean, it looks like
Yeah.
his daughter just was hiding this, and if you can't trust your daughter, who can you trust?
Right.
Okay, so 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 that means that you the one spark that you started the session with, you've now earned a second spark. Now
Okay.
you can choose how you want to spend them.
All right. Uh, so at the moment I have 2d6 or 3d6.
You've got two d6 for
Okay.
presence. I'm giving you a d6 for vulnerable.
Okay.
You're adding a d8
Hmm.
for the tangle, but that has earned you extra spark. So you could spend spark to turn the 3d6 into 4d6, or spend them both and get 5d6. I mean, whoa.
I will keep the spark and just roll with three
Three plus the red thorn dice
and the red thorn dice.
for his
Okay.
lack of trust. Okay, well, the thorn does
Five.
five is your best bet, and the thorn doesn't make it any worse. So on a mixed success, you do it purely. Yes, I think that what he tells you is that because it was she'd been hanging out with some odd people, and he says no, no, she's a lovely girl. She's had friends since she was a child. And then he pauses and he says, "But there were those people in the inn the other day. Um, maybe just before you arrived, there were three people arrived at the inn, and she seemed to give them a lot of attention. And Lidi was always great with the customers. Um, but she kept going back to the table, and I saw them talking to her at one point. I thought they were hitting on her in some way, but normally she's very professional, but she seemed to spend a lot of time with them.
Could you
So,
describe them?
yes, could I describe them? So three visitors. Let me see if I can describe them.
Sure.
Um, yes. They were all dressed in dark traveling clothes. Um, two men, one woman. Um, one of them, I don't know. I got a bad feeling about one of them. I don't know. Maybe it was his eyes. He had these really piercing eyes. Um, and one of them spent a lot of the time that night uh, sharpening a scimitar. And the woman, frankly, she looked like she'd have punched anyone who even kind of brushed against her. She had a kind of contained violence. Um, I think he gives you enough that you would probably recognize them if you saw them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and he says, do you think that they did something to Lidi to make her do this thing?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna try to comfort him and say like it's it's possible that they cast a spell upon her to turn her. I don't want him to think that his daughter was bad this whole time.
Valeria, any thoughts, any additions, any observations?
Um, yeah, Valeria will also, try to offer, some comfort, right? To say, that you, you know, your your daughter, I mean, is, clearly, what she did was not, of her own independent choosing, right? That they're clearly we know that there's something, kind of powerful at work here. And yeah, that we certainly don't fault Lidi at all for, what has happened.
Um, so do you think, I mean, I've, what do I do now?
Yeah, we tell worst thing at the end. Keep an eye for any suspicious activity. Ignore any gossip that casts your daughter in a negative light. Um, but if you hear something that you think that might be of import, let us know or leave a message with us when we return.
So you're leaving, he says.
I look to Valeria. Are we leaving? Are we?
Well, I think what Valeria would like to do is, you know, you know, we'll move him back. We'll walk back with him to the inn. And when we get there, Valeria will ask him what was the table that they were sitting at? Do you remember?
Um, and you go inside, and despite the fact that the great trade market is still taking place and there's huge bustle all around, it's like there's an exclusion zone around the front of the inn. And when you go inside, a couple of people brush past you leaving with their bags. Um, and so while you might expect the inn to be busy all day, people having a drink and making deals and everything else, it is the bar room, the tap room is deserted. And he just kind of goes, as if, reputation's already gone. Um, but he says, I think it was there in that corner. And there's a back corner furthest away from the door, furthest away from any window. Um, it's 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 the table people choose to avoid unless it's really full.
Mhm.
Because you
Yes.
can't see much of the room, you can't be seen. It's no place to hang out.
Yes. So Valeria she's going to move back to that table.
Yeah.
Um, she's going to want to try a vision here, and is
Oh,
thinking that, like, maybe if I'm going to look, like, carefully to see if there are any kind of glistenings of like the scimitar was being sharpened here. And so there might be, very faintly some signs of the flaked metal, right? And that I think is she's going to, like, draw upon that as a kind of aid to her vision. And the question she's going to have is, like, the people who were here, where are they? Are they still? Because this might determine whether we stay in town or whether we, if we feel like, oh, they've headed off to the Crimson Highlands, right?
mhm.
This
No,
might
I
help
get
us.
that. Okay, so you can roll presence to ask your patron for forbidden knowledge, tightly held secrets, or that which should not be known. Ask the GM a specific question. The answer may be cryptic or twisted to suit the patron's desires, but it will never be outright right. On a messy or grim, roll the patience. So your presence is 3, but it currently has a mark on it. So presence will be, you'll roll 3 dice, but you'll put a thorn in for the mark, and then the mark will be gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to spend anything else to boost that?
And I can spend the spark on this.
Yeah, it would earn you that would turn 3d6 into 4.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll go on and spend the spark. And
Okay, so 4d6 and the red thorn dice.
okay, and then I can go on and just unmark the thorn because it's going getting rolled now. Is that
Yeah,
right?
exactly so. Exactly. Once you roll with it, it's a one and gone.
So 46 plus the D8.
Yep. High numbers on the d6, low numbers on the d8. Oh, well, that's not bad, is it? So top on the, is you rolled a 5, which is messy, but the thorn is a 1 rather than 7 to 8, so it doesn't get any worse. So on a messy, well, before we do anything else, let's roll your patience pool, shall we? Because currently it stands at 4,
Yeah.
and when patience reaches 0, Brexter may have words or other things, and then we'll talk about what you see.
And I roll
And what
four.
you're looking for again is high numbers. Any 1, 2, or 3 will reduce that 4 downwards.
Oh, look
And
at that.
there you go. Brexter has no problem at all with that. So, yeah, where are they now? Um, and there's this kind of kaleidoscopic, slightly kind of light bent, all funny, dreamy stuff happens. Yeah,
And I think the metal, like the little metal flakes that I'm finding, yeah, that they start to kind of shimmer with that kaleidoscopic, right?
yeah, and I think that while probably Lidi will have brushed out the room since then, in the board tables, there's some little fragments of this metal off the scimitar in the gap between the planks of the table, and they begin to refract light, and as if looking through a crystal, I think you see a darkened room with a window, and out of the window you can see rooftops. Um, so I think what you get on the messy is
Yeah.
they're not in the countryside, they're in a town, and those rooftops include uh, the spire of the Temple of Corlita. Does that seem
Yeah.
like a fair response?
Yeah. And I'll, Valeria will, after coming out from where that table was, will say, um, there's there's still, well, they're not here, but they're still in the town. The people that approached Lidi here.
Can you figure out where exactly or an area?
Um, it's pretty hazy. Best I can tell, they're within eyesight of the spire. Um, and it was Brexter was helpful, but was not crystal clear in terms of the location.
Could you tell which side of the spire you saw in the vision? Because that will at least give us a direction.
Yeah, I think what Valeria doesn't know for sure, but I think Valeria would say, well, maybe if we go out and I look at it, um, maybe I can, try to recall that hazy vision to see if I can get any indication, better indication of which part of town it might have been.
Of course.
I mean, I want to cut to the spire. I wanted to be at the spire and try to get some kind of bearing.
Yeah.
So let's cut to the spire on the church. I mean, it's more what's those round top spires? Anyway, slightly bell shaped at the top rather than the spire, but never mind. So I see you. climbing up the wooden spiral stairs to that kind of place where there is a bell. Um, and I think wit is probably the way that this goes. Can you work out, you remember seeing the spire? Can you get any sense of what was in front or behind the spire so that you could then, know which way that vision was facing, and then you would be able to trace it back, maybe?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything Windermere can do to help here?
Do, 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 uh, Sworn drop out. Um, I can I can lend spark if you don't have any to another player with affirmation.
Yeah, they need to be working in the scene in line with your tenets. Faith to the people because of caring, wisdom to the leaders because of trait to be honorable, inspiration to the powerless as I too was inspired to be more than I was. If you think you can spin that, either of you, into this activity, then that would, each session you can give spark to one player who joined you in a scene involving your tenets.
Yeah, I think the people of the city are losing faith because of
Oh, and look,
yeah.
you've done it. That scene you
Oh.
had with
Yeah.
Axel,
Mm.
Valeria was in there, so you can give spark. So you can reduce spark by one, and you can give spark to Valeria on the basis of that, because you affirmed one of your tenets, and Valeria saw you do it, and I think to a large extent went along with it, supported it. So you can transfer a spark between your characters. Now, so Valeria,
Hmm.
we're back to. Can you use wit to work this out?
Yeah. Um, yeah, and you know, um, I imagine that Windermere is telling me something about, right, to kind of give that spark, right,
Yeah.
is right, talking
Yeah.
about trying to restore faith here. Yeah, and so Valeria will try this, right? Kind of l walks around carefully, walking around and gazing out across the city to try to, and trying to remember that vision, right? And the
Hmm.
layout. Yep.
Was there a slight crimson haze in the background behind it? So were you facing the Crimson Highlands? Don't know.
Yep.
Let's see how it goes.
Yep.
So basically, two dice.
Hmm.
Spend spark that you just received to get three dice, or
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
okay, okay. So you spend it, and then you roll three dice. No thorn,
Yeah. I don't think
unless you want to introduce a tangle, and I'll give you the thorn, and you would then get a spark back.
oh that yeah, I could introduce a tangle. You know, uh I mean that would this work? The tangle is that unbeknownst to us, uh somebody sees us up there. Somebody has been watching, right?
Yeah,
Has been watching the tower and our presence up there and our, gazing
investigations.
out. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
is
yeah,
being noted.
yeah.
Hmm.
No, that works. So you spend the spark and get it back, or spend both spark.
Um, yeah, let's do that. We'll spend both. We'll spend both.
Wow. So two dice for wit, two
Two.
spark,
Right,
but you also get the thorn.
right, right. Um, and do I roll the thorn now, or is that
You
left?
put no, you put the thorn in this roll because that thorn may, if it comes up, if it reduces the roll, then the observers may act.
Right. Okay, here we go. So 46 plus the D8.
Yep. Look at that, a six, and no, Thorn has no effect at all. So on a six, I can't even, make it difficult for you. You are fairly confident that of which part of town it's in and how far away it is. It's in one of the one of the lower class areas, places where rooms are cheap and people come and go at will. We know that the town has, quite a number of confusing alleyways, and I think it may be what's called the Old Town. So it's that bit of the town where the roadways are very narrow. They're mostly pathways and alleyways. Um, People have built up to create cheap accommodation. So I think you have a good idea of which part of town that vision came from.
Mhm.
Not the building, but as you look across, you can see that there are several small clumps um, of housing that is taller than the better quality housing between there and the square. And
Yeah,
it would be one
and,
of those garret rooms, one of those loft rooms.
yeah. So I'll point Windemir to the section of town and say, I think it's that part of town. Um,
And this is not a vast city.
yeah.
You're talking about, a couple of dozen buildings
Hmm.
in that part of town. So some inquiries may narrow that down. Don't know.
Yeah. Um, and remind me with the what is it called? The story. You just spend those to
Usually you need fictional positioning, and
uh
that could be to do with, your backgrounds, your wises.
yeah.
Um, and then you can agree a bit of story, bit of narrative, take control of the fiction briefly, with me, as long as you have the positioning.
Yeah, because I was thinking about my commoner background and like that
Okay.
part of the city is, I don't know, Sir Windemir may say, oh, that's like a sketchy part of town. But for me, I think it's like, oh, I probably remember not Galen, but I kind of remember, being in cities with, that kind of district. So it is for me probably, given what has happened so far, this is something that is, I think, for Valeria is actually like, oh, I'll kind of feel a bit more at ease
Yeah.
in that part.
Local customs, practical wisdom, how to behave in those parts of town. Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you thinking of using the story for?
Well, maybe once we get in there, using it to
Find a willing
yeah,
conversationalist.
yeah, just strike up a conversation with somebody who seems maybe I don't know them, but they seem familiar to me, right? I'm kind of
Yeah, the kind
aware,
of person that notices stuff.
right?
Practical wisdom. That would work. Um, that assumes that that's where you're going to go, and I'm interested whether you're going to go together or on your own, Valeria, leaving Windermere to do something else, or do you want Windermere along for his stout arm and good morals?
I think Valeria would say to Windermere, "Look, I think it's there. I want to go there, and those are I've never been to Galen before, but I feel like the people I find there are going to be my kind of people, right? And we'll let Windermere know that that's where I'm going. I'm not I'm leaving it up to Windermere though as to whether he wants to accompany me or not.
My concern is that there are three of them. If you go alone, you will be badly outnumbered.
Well, I'm not going immediately to stir anything up, Sir Windemir. I'm just going to see what it looks like and ask somebody a few questions.
I mean, I don't want to forget that Windermere has a background in entertainment, crowd
Yeah.
behavior, stage presence. I think he's dressed to stand out, but I think personality wise, he knows how people are. I don't want you to feel that you need to stay behind because you'll stand out like a sore thumb, is what I think I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, I let me just look real quick at the other NPCs and just to see if there's any other avenues of investigation I can do while you're doing this. Um, uh, Leaf Graxon is the okay. There's Leaf Graxon and there's Mistress Elra.
Yeah,
So far, the people who have died is the one merchant and brother Adele,
yeah.
right? I'm not
And
missing
I don't
any.
think I don't know if I ever put the merchant up there. He was just a
Right.
MacGuffin.
All right. Um, I actually will talk to the I will want to talk to the merchant's partner. I think her name was Alora or something. I could find it.
Yeah,
Um, because that seems kind of random that they just kill a merchant. Um, there might be like there might be a more important reason why they
yeah,
targeted him.
yeah.
So if you want to go, but don't engage Valeria. Just be very careful.
Yeah, I don't think this will be like the initial encounter with the jeweler that I had. I'll
Uh,
keep I'll keep things on a more steady you know steady state than what happened with that jeweler.
yes, that would be wise.
I've added a picture of Mistress Allura, Ellis's business partner.
Okay.
Um, uh, yeah, and you walk out to the caravan where the merchants have put the caravans, and that gives Valeria a couple of hours of free time. So let's start with Valeria. Um, I think we cut to you making your way through these narrow alleys. The buildings they've had extra floors built on over time, and they overhang. So you might see a couple of people talking to one another across the alleyway from these kind of upper floors that are pushed out over the stone or brick base buildings. Um, Tell me the kind of person you're looking for that you think might know stuff in this part of town.
Um,
Or because then you can spend the story and just say, I don't have to roll for someone. There they are.
yeah, I think Valeria knows that there are, you know, people in cities that actually their business involves them traveling around quite a bit, but they're not noticed because they're kind of looked down upon. So I'm thinking like maybe a woman or man who maybe is hired by the city to deal with the trash, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the kind of refuse, and right, they're not really noticed. People maybe even look the other way, but they visit all of these places constantly, right? They do their circuit and they're kind of aware of you know who belongs, who doesn't belong, new things that are kind of happening. There may be even interesting things that appear in the rubbish sometimes that kind of catch their attention, right?
I've added a picture of Taran, the garbage collector.
uh,
Yeah, I think you see the guy. He's got a bag full of stuff, and he's about to put it out into a hand cart to be wheeled out of this part of town. He probably does the better parts of town on a daily basis, but he comes down here on a weekly basis and then only to those places that pay a bit extra.
Hmm.
Because, one bloke couldn't do all of this, mate.
I know. I've actually been in your line of work in the past. I know very well what it's like to kind of be paid to take care of other people's
And
undesirable trash.
he takes in your ravaged, sleep deprived body and your patchwork clothing and says, "Oh, blimey. I, I hope I look better than you when I've been doing it as long as you have.
Yeah. Well,
It's a
the way
tough job, but where were you doing it?"
well, look, when I was your age, I looked I looked spry like you. This is not a result of this kind of work that you're doing. Um, and Valeria will
Oh,
even
thank
take up
the gods for that.
uh, and Valeria will take up the handles of the handcart and kind of help him along, right? And
Okay, well, that's very decent of you. And so you wheel the cart while he goes place yeah, right round this corner. Next one's on the corner. I've spent your story to have a relationship with Taran. So what are you aiming to get out of this garbage collection run?
yeah. Well, I'll say, look, I'm new to town, but it's you know, I was over in that quarter on the other side of the the
Market
church,
Square, yeah.
right? And things seem a little unsettled and
Unsettled? Did you not know that the innkeeper's daughter slit the throat of the priest, threw him off the roof? I
yeah,
mean, I have to tell you, I think faith in elected government is failing.
yeah. It clearly the people running this town right now are not not dealing adequately with the problems. But
So, do
look,
you think we should approach the bandits as well?
well, I think we need to get to the bottom of who is, behind these atrocious events. If they are the bandits, then
No, no, I mean inviting them in. There's a lot of word on the street about just inviting the bandits in to take over, make people safe. Okay, it might cost us a bit, but
well, that I haven't heard of that particular.
And just to get a bit meta for a moment, I did roll for whether the mayoral competition had taken a hit from events last time. Um, and certainly the death of a priest did neither Graxon nor Ira any good,
Yeah,
but it did shorten the odds on the bandits just taking the town. Their four dice pool is now a one dice pool. Anyway, back
yeah,
to the scene.
yeah. I'll say I hadn't heard that news about the bandits taking over.
That's what
I
people are saying. What's the point of voting? What's the point of voting? Just get strong leadership. That's what we need. People with clubs and swords to bring a bit of peace to the place. I mean, you can't have innkeepers' daughters slaughtering priests, can you?
No, 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 no. I would just worry though about like you take care of one problem by inviting in another problem. I mean, from at least the what I had heard from the candidates, the bandits were stirring things up, and they certainly seem opportunistic, right? I mean, that this would be a kind of
Well,
golden opportunity for
I
them.
mean, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying what people are saying.
Yeah.
I
But
keep my ear to the ground while me rounds.
well, that's kind of what I'm interested in. I mean, have you like just around these parts, forgetting for a moment about the bandits outside of town, just in these parts, have you noticed anything different, like in this section of town? Anybody new walking around? Anything interesting showing up in in the
in my
rubbish?
trash. Um, well, interesting you should say that. Um, I did find I was picking up some. I just noticed some. It's not a house I normally serve. I'll be honest with you, but there was this scrumpled up parchment, and parchment's reusable. You don't want to be throwing parchment away. So if I see anything that's been kind of thrown away that I think might have a use, I pick it up, and it had all these scribbles. I mean, I don't read myself, but it didn't seem to be even like letters I would recognize.
Yeah. Did you keep it?
Well, hang on, and he goes under the car and pulls out a bag, and he's ruffling around, and he pulls it, and he says, "This." Um, and I think, given your warlock and mystic nature, and symbology, I notice, um, this is inscribed with arcane symbols. And at that point, we cut back to Sir Windemir. Sir Windemir, where do we see you? What are you doing?
I guess I'm at the merchants area, and I'm looking for Lady
Mistress
Allura.
Allura. Um,
Mistress, yeah.
and you'll find her, and you'll find her packing up her wagon, or what was their wagon.
Right.
And she sees you coming and says, "Oh, yeah, you've just caught me. I think most of us are off today."
Are you leaving for good or just for the day?
Well, I would have been staying. I think most of us would be staying for the end of the week. But most people are packing up today to get out of town because, well, they slaughtered the priest. I mean, you don't want to. This is no place to be if you've got somewhere else you could go. And there's another. We'll head off back towards the city and look for a bit of trade in that direction. But no, this is nobody wants to hang about. Did you not notice it was a bit quieter in town? And as you were coming, when you arrived back at the inn first thing, it felt very, very busy. But now you think back, and it was busy with people packing up stalls.
Mhm. I nod to her and I say, I understand. And if I were in your position, I would probably do the same.
Well, yeah, I saw you ride a horse yesterday. If you got a horse, I'd be riding it away.
It was it was a it was a temporary loan. Um, and has been since returned.
I
My
mean, it seems to me no one's going to be able to work out who killed Ellis. So, there's no reason for me to stay.
We believe we do know who killed Ellis.
You do? Who was it?
The same who killed the priest.
No.
But she took her
That
own
that
life.
girl from the inn.
Yeah, and I describe her, and I think it was the same one who gave her the poison like a lamb.
Yeah,
Yeah, I describe her.
yeah. And yeah, you've already joined those dots, and she'll take your word for it. Um, well, um, well, thank you for telling me. Um, it's some consolation to know that the one who killed him is now dead. But poor, all the more reason to leave, in my view. If you can't trust an innkeeper's daughter, who can you trust?
Mistress, I'm concerned that Ellis might have been targeted, but I don't know why. That's why I've come back to you. Were you dealing in any specific wares that might be of interest?
I think let's try for presence. I think read a person, interact with a person. 2d6, um, and unless there's authority, isn't there?
Yeah. Let's see. You can send.
I think the GM, judges, and NPCs I think that she has great respect for you and some admiration on the grounds that you have successfully identified her friend's killer. So that for me is you don't need to push it for a potent feat of righteous command with Mistress Allura. Um, I will give you a bonus d6 on the basis of her feeling that you are, you're someone of that she values.
Cool. Um,
So that will be 3d6.
okay. Trying to see if I don't think oath sworn. It's not really an argument. Um, so okay, 3d6.
Ooh, close run thing. That's a 4. So mixed success. Um, I suppose they weren't trading anything particular, but they did. It was someone in the inn when they were just after they arrived, which was just before, well, a couple of days before you arrived. Um, and someone in the inn was making inquiries about a pendant or some kind of decoration. Um, and they weren't able to help, but they did direct uh, the inquirer to somebody else in the market who might have, or maybe not yet arrived in the market, who was usually here and tended to trade in bric-a-brac, and strange bits and pieces that weren't worth much to anyone unless they were worth quite a lot to someone. That's
I
the only
mean,
thing.
ah, so I see, and they were probably covering their tracks somehow. I mean, I described the pendant that the monk has, or I don't know if that's the same thing, an amulet or whatnot. Does
Yeah,
that sound like what they were asking?
I just rolled some dice on the Disciples of the Dark make their presence felt, and I
Hmm.
think it becomes clear that the three people that Arne was describing were the same three people inquiring about an amulet or medallion or something
Hmm.
similar, which is what the thing that Furdo now has. And I think because we know Mark's not going to be here today, I
Right.
think I'm going to have, and it's looking like Xena is going to make it either. So I think that my starting position is that Furdo was very keen to follow the train of this guy Maglos Kilgore,
Right.
who provided that amulet to the trader. Um, and if Xena doesn't appear today, she's gone as well. Yeah.
Okay.
But it does look like the trader that Valeria and Furdo interacted with might have been the person to whom these three people in dark clothes were directed. But that's the only strange thing that she can come up with.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking that that trader is in danger. So I will be looking for him. This will be
Okay,
my
well
next
let's
step.
let's on that note, let's cut back to Valeria in the in Old Town.
Mhm.
Crowded, rickety old town. So Valeria, you've got this piece of parchment from your new friend Taryn, and it is definitely these are arcane symbols of some kind.
Yeah. Um, so Taryn, this is very, very interesting what is written here. Would you mind if I kept this, or would you want something in return for this piece of
Oh,
parchment?
I couldn't take anything from you. I mean, a fellow tradesman, someone in the trade. Um, and he kind of looks you up and down and says, "To be honest, I think you could use it more than I could."
Um, well, uh, I don't know whether that's a compliment or not, but thank you for the thank you for this piece of parchment. Where was the do you remember which house you got this from? You said it was a house that you normally didn't pick up.
No, no,
Um,
exactly. And he says, "Yeah, that one."
mhm,
And he points across a kind of the alley comes into this slightly open square,
mhm.
probably about 20 yards across, maybe less than that, given the way the building's gone here. And he just points across the square and says, "Yeah, it was over there. I was on my way to Mrs. McGaw's round the corner to pick up her rubbish. Um,
Okay.
yeah, just there."
Okay. What that? Uh,
And it is a three-story building with a gable in the roof.
mhm. And it looks like that might be. I'll probably look at that and think, well, maybe
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 that
that's right.
might be the right window.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Valeria will thank her new friend and say, well, I don't know how long I'm going to be staying at Galen, but I certainly will keep my eye out for you. You've been very, very kind.
Oh, for somebody else in the business, I've always got time.
And I think with that, Valeria will not approaching it directly, but she's going to kind of work her way over to
I mean,
that build.
there's still working your way over. It's like 15 paces away.
Yeah. Um,
There's washing strung between a couple of windows. It's, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing some of those uh, pre-war pictures of Naples.
yeah.
Crowded alleyways, people talking across windows. It's population density is high here.
Yeah. I think what Valeria wants to do is then find a a dark alley nearby or someplace where she's not going to be noticed.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, she wants to see what's in that building. Not to stir anything up. Like I still, hear the voice of Sir Windemir, telling me,
Do not engage.
yeah. But I think, if I can find a place where I'm not being noticed, I think I'll go on and use the my otherworldly form. Uh,
Okay. Now I don't think we've so far firmed this up.
yeah, but
Um,
yeah, I already made the choices. I have
okay.
choices of three things. So, right, the move is you can turn into a floating dispersed form flavored after your patron's trappings. Choose three things you can do in this form. Um, and I chose appear. There are three things. I'm choosing appear barely visible,
Okay.
interact with objects,
Yeah.
and speak.
Okay. So you don't want to fly high in the sky.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't move swiftly.
you don't move swiftly
I
or
don't
slip through
slip.
small gaps.
Right.
Okay. So appear barely visible, interact with objects, and speak. And in terms of the way this otherworldly form looks on screen, I'm imagining some kind of slightly because it's barely visible, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm imagining, when as if light were reflecting and through something, just little sparkling points. Does that
Yes.
seem like a reasonable thing?
Yes. Yep. Hmm.
Um, and what are you intending to do with your otherworldly form?
Um, I'm gonna just do a little reconnaissance mission into that place, get up to the third floor and just take a peek in to see what I see in that room.
Okay. So that costs you nothing. You do that. I mean, that seems like quite a potent move. Um, I am going to cut back to Sir Windemir, who I think is hightailing it back to town in search of a trinket seller
Yeah.
who may or may not be at risk.
Who may or may not be dead already.
So what do we see you doing when you kind of arrive back in town and head to the marketplace, which was the last time you saw him? Or maybe no, the last time you saw him was when he was negotiating with Ferdo over that medallion or amulet, whatever it was. So what do you do when you arrive back in the market square?
Yeah, I go to the area where Ferdo and Valeria had encountered him just to see if he's set up a booth there again.
I think that what you will find, well, I'm going to have a roll a story move. I'm going to make this a 2d6 story move just because I don't know.
Okay.
Mixed success. He is there, but he is about to leave.
Okay.
He's packed everything up. He's got his mule. All his trinkets are packed up on that. The stall has been knocked down and cleared away by the city, by the town. What do you do?
Let's see. All right. Oh, I breathe a sigh of relief. Um, yeah, I just go up to him. Um, Good merchant, I'm glad to see you are actually leaving.
Really?
I've come.
I mean, that odd fellow you travel with. He's not want anything else from me, is he?
No, I just wanted to let you know that the murderer of the recent killings, your
Yeah.
fellow merchant and the priest, um, I believe the murderer was associated with a group who may have interest in you.
What do you
I
mean
just wanted
interest
to.
in me?
They were looking for the medallion that you sold to my friend.
Oh, well, if anybody asks, I'll tell them where I sold it. I mean, it's nothing to do with me, no.
Has anyone asked?
No, no, not at all. Um, and then a boy comes up and says, "Excuse me, sir, for you," and hands him over a piece of paper, a piece of
I
parchment.
snatch I snatch it out of his hands and I look at it.
What are you playing at? You break the seal?
Uh, Actually, I'll wait till he breaks the seal and then I'll snatch it.
He breaks the seal. Um, do you have anything that allows you to interrupt something?
Uh, Maybe authority?
Normally, it would say you can interrupt something.
Okay. So like a move that's
Yeah,
interrupting his move.
yeah, exactly.
I don't think I do. So,
Okay. Um, how does he die?
oh no, he dies?
How does he die? You tell me. What do we see on screen?
Uh, yeah, he
He
opens.
breaks the seal, and you can have any special effect you like, or you can just describe his death.
Uh, yeah, I think there's a bright flash of light, and it shines on his face, and then it shines through his face, um, and he drops, and there's like in the shape of sigils, like it's just like burned right through his head, uh,
And
and I
somebody looks across and screams.
and as the kid who delivered it tries to leave, I grab his arm and say, "Who gave you this letter?"
Uh, just this bloke over there.
And I look.
cut back to Valeria. Valeria, we see this kind of vaguely visible, barely visible shape. Is it still a humanoid shape, or is it like a cloud of slightly sparkly things? Oh, you are muted.
I mean, this helps perhaps to explain the ravaged form that when I do this, it right, I kind of my whole form seems to get twisted and kind of cubist like, right?
Yeah,
Before it then kind of really goes into that nearly invisible form. But I think in and out of it, right, you'll see this very kind of vaguely human, but very kind of twisted, somewhat grotesque
shape.
form right within
Yeah,
that shape.
fine. Um, you can manipulate objects, so you could open the door,
Hmm.
and we see this shape inside on a rickety wooden staircase, climbing up the 3 floors to the top floor.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get there?
Um, is there a door
There is a door.
and it's closed?
It is.
Um, so I trying to be as quiet as I can. I'm not floating, right? I'm not flying, right? But trying to be
I mean, barely visible. I think
right,
it means that you are, you don't have heavy footsteps.
correct. But when I get to that door, I'll pause for a second to see whether I hear any sound, like if there anybody talking in there, or
Yeah,
does
let's roll with wit.
okay. And my wit is, I think, all right, my wit is 2. I'm sorry, I need to get on my right one. So yeah, my wit is 2. Um, so we'll go with that.
Okay.
And ooh, 3s, both of them.
Okay. Okay. As you lean in to listen to see if you can hear anything, um, you fail. The GM makes an impact move. You can hear something whirring, kind of.
Mhm.
What do you do?
Um, I I think I take a step off to the side of that door, so I'm not in front of the door anymore. And
Okay, that's all I need to know. Let's have you defend against what is about to happen.
yeah.
So, defense works more or less the same way. Build your dice pool, but I think this is agility. Do you move swiftly enough?
Hmm.
So, roll with agility.
Oh, my agility's not great here. Right,
Well,
but we'll go with this. I could I mean I could introduce a tangle, I suppose.
you could and earn
Uh,
spark.
hmm.
I mean, is the tangle that in your barely visible form, you're not quite as, or the twisted shape, you're not quite as agile as one might expect. So you could have spark, spend it to get 2 dice to roll with agility, but you'd put a thorn in. Pays you money,
Yeah,
takes your choice.
yeah. I think I think this may be like tangled enough. I'll just go with the straight. We'll leave it up to the fates
Yeah.
here. We'll
Having
roll.
agility of 1 is a big enough challenge, it seems to me. So fine. So let's have you roll your dice.
All right. I got a
4.
4.
Okay, so when used as a defense, you avoid the brunt of the trouble. The GM lightens the impact. There is a rune appears, a symbol, a sigil appears burned into the door and explodes outwards. I'll give you a choice. Does in this form, does it hurt your agility or your wit? Does it confuse you or does it do some, does it knock you backwards?
Initially, I'm thinking agility, right? It hurts the agility because yeah, that I didn't get out fast enough. I was trying to use the agility, so it makes kind of sense that
Fine,
right that
fine.
it would.
Mark agility. Let's cut back to Sir Windemir. That bloke there, sir.
And I'm off in that direction, and I'm yelling for the guards.
Now, the stalls are being knocked down, they're being taken apart, but there's still quite a lot of activity. To avoid that activity, you need to kind of head to the edge of the market and go round the edge, which will take longer. Or we could see you leaping and jumping in a direct line. What's your preference?
Leaping and jumping.
Oh, leaping and jumping. Okay.
Yeah.
So our paladin is leaping and jumping. That is agility. So let's have you roll with your agility, which I see is 2 dice, but with a thorn. But then the thorn will be gone.
Cool. That's hard. Yeah, man. Okay, yeah. Let's just do that. Lord.
Well, the thorn doesn't matter. 5s on a defense. 4 or 5, you avoid the brunt of the trouble. The GM lightens the impact. Sorry, what am I talking about? You do it, but the GM makes an impact move. I think that this is either going to cost you something or a mark. Do you want to take the condition marked, banged shin, or do you want to mark agility?
I will. How do conditions work again?
I can apply them any which way. They
And
offer
it takes
me
a
more flexibility. They're vaguer for both of us. Or you can have the straightforward mechanical, put a tick on agility.
uh do conditions take away dice?
No, they are. If I think they apply, then I would put a thorn in.
Okay.
They are
I'm
more
gonna.
difficult to get rid of, though,
Oh,
because there's a
I
simple
will.
mechanical way to get rid of a mark on a.
I will do the mark then.
Fair enough.
Mark agility again. Yep.
And this figure disappears down an alleyway, heading, as it happens, in the general direction that Valeria went to investigate, that part of town. And you charge into the alleyway. It feels like you're a dozen steps behind him. Yeah, but there is someone closer than that. A figure in dark clothes draws a scimitar and takes guard. What do you
Yeah.
do, Windemir?
Sword is out.
Yeah.
And I'm just charging right into them.
Okay. So where is our swordsman? Here is our swordsman. Nimble, merciless, and a 6D threat. So, what do we see you doing, Sir Windemir? just
Mhm.
shield and sword held.
Yeah, this is actually calculated. I just need to surprise them with
Okay,
without
go for it.
overthinking.
Go for it.
Um, yeah.
So you'd normally be using brawn.
Right. So now how does the smite work? I'm not sure I
Okay.
understand it.
So drop out to you don't take thorns from bloodied or rattled. Instead, taking 1d on rolls, blah blah blah. Sorry, you have 3 smite. Oh well, now you've got 4 because you've improved it. When attacking someone in combat or argument, you can spend it 1 to 1 to drop dice from the task pool after rolling it. So, for instance, the task pool here is his 6 dice. Yeah. If you successfully, if you succeed with your attack, we'll then roll, or you'll roll 6 dice and see how far it goes down, how many one, twos, threes knock it down. But with smite, you can erode that smite and
Hmm,
take more of his dice away.
cool.
Okay.
All
Um,
right.
I am going to spend my remaining, quite how I've got to the point where I've only got 1 suspense, I can't imagine, but I'm going to spend that to invoke his nimbleness. He is very nimble and light on his feet. Not as well armored as you, but very nimble. To add a thorn
All right.
to this fight. Yeah. So
Sounds good.
let's have you attack with brawn.
Uh, and let's see if I can have anything suffer disaster. No. Um, uh, extras. Gain spark. Produce a tangle and disaster. Resolve a quarrel. Resolve an arc. All right. Let's roll.
Oh, look at that, a 6, and the thorn has no effect at all. So on a 6, you well describe your success. How do you land a significant blow on this fellow?
Uh, yeah, I think if they've been observing us at all, they probably know I'm not rash, and they probably expected me to hesitate, but um, I knew I had to go for it. So
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I just like charge into them, and without with me being more armored, they take more damage
Using
than I.
weight. Okay,
Yeah.
so on a 6, you do it and avoid any trouble. So roll 6 dice, looking for one, two, threes to reduce his dice pool. Okay, that looks to me. Oh, only one. There's only a 2 in there,
Uh,
isn't there? So that becomes a 5 dice. Now, of course, you could now spend 4 smite to
I could
reduce.
also use my one of my gifts at this point.
Could you? In what way?
Well, because it says any player's character's D6, I can replace it with a gift.
Oh, so you could throw in your ones and threes.
Yes.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, explain to me how does your patron is there have you asked your patron to have a watching brief? Let's have a little flashback to explain how this is going to influence Windemir's
Well,
fight
and
here.
and this fight is taking place, although it may be unbeknownst to Valeria, it's taking place in close proximity to where I am right now, right?
100 yards, 200 yards, yeah.
So I mean, I think that that's what helps to spark the gift is that right? I was trying to get knowledge, which is something that my patron wants, secret truths and things like
Hmm.
that, and is invested in it, has right. perhaps noted that I was, had fallen under the effect of this sigil, but my patron kind of looked out and saw my companion out there, kind of engaged, in kind of a random way with, kind of unexpected way with, this figure out there, and my patron, I just think is like looking for a way to help the situation out, and thinks that maybe I'm okay, but that it would be
That
useful
that that
for
works for
Windermere
me.
to have that.
So if you reduce that 1 and 3 to 0, then I will take another 2 dice off the pool, reducing that to a 3 dice. Now, if you roll 3 smite, you could take him out, Windermere.
Uh,
Just saying.
yeah, because that replenishes, right, at
At the start of the next
uh
session.
start of the section. Yeah, I think I will. I'll just make this quick and dirty. Um,
How do you take him down? You've charged into him, surprised him. His nimbleness actually turns out to be him. He's slightly off balance when you hit him with the shield. How do you finish him?
yeah, yeah, it's just a tackle to the ground, and the full weight of me just like knocks all breath from his lungs.
Fine.
And
Are you going to spare him or end him?
I I leave that up to him. I say yield, and if he doesn't, then I will wound him. But yeah, I don't want to kill him if I
Okay.
don't have to.
Then I won't force you to do that because in with his he will say, um, "She's coming," and he bites down hard and
Yeah.
dies. Um, and then I want you to roll a defense with agility, Sir Windemir.
All right.
Two
So
dice
that
with a thorn.
one. All right.
Oh, that is a fail. Oh, that
Oh,
is
fail with a go.
with a cut. A fail with a
Yeah.
cut. Now, just check your moves because some of the moves say that you can ignore cuts in certain circumstances, but I don't think that applies to you. So, a defense that grim becomes a disaster, which earns you spark. You fail, and the GM increases impact, but you earn spark. Because I have got a another person in black, a woman who is stealthy with the option on a backstab. And I think I am going to go straight to bloodied.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she's gone. That's the disaster bit of this.
All right.
Comes behind you, jabs you with a knife, and then she's gone. So mark bloodied, Sir Windemir. And and it was like a ghost. Valeria. Valeria. Oh gosh, I've just realized that we've got an hour and a half. We'll take a break in a moment. Valeria, what do you want to do?
I mean, I think after that kind of exploding sigil, um, that surprised Valeria, and kind of knocked her back. I think once again Valeria, hears the voice of Sir Windemir saying, don't kind of impose yourself. I think, Valeria. I mean, she has a lot that's confirmed right now. I mean, I know this is the place. I know, right, that they have some kind of magical force, behind them. I think Valeria is going to make her way as quickly as possible down the stairs and go outside.
Okay. And so that is where we will take our commercial break with Sir Windermere stumbling against the wall with blood leaking from his side, with Valeria beating a hasty retreat. It is now half past the hour. 5 minutes long enough, or do you prefer a bit nearer 10?
Maybe 10.
Let's
10.
take 10. 22 the hour.
Okay.
So we come back with Sir Windemir clutching his side, turning around to see a dark figure just disappearing. Merle, our bard, dynamic entrance. You can always appear in a scene exactly where and when you want, limited only by your physical capabilities. Make a 3D story roll to see if you're engaged as you enter. Do
Now
you want to
remind
enter
me,
this scene? Oh, go on.
what does the 3D story roll entail? I mean, I'm assuming 3 dice, but I don't know
3
what
dice.
else.
You roll 3 dice as if it was a skill check, as if you were kind of rolling to do something.
Cool.
It's just a random roll. A pair of 6s,
Ooh.
that is a critical success. So not only can you be in this scene, you can do something with a benefit. What do you want to do?
Can I just ask, can I see whether Windemir is like critically hurt?
He's not critically, he is bloodied. He is not
Right.
he is not dropped, he is not out.
Well, in that case, I think I will go after this shadowy figure.
Well,
Is he already?
well, look, on a critical, you have arrived, you are not engaged, they don't know that you're there. You could act on them now. You don't need to give chase
Okay.
because you have the option on a follow-up. So you saw Windemir running across the market square. You took off after him from a different direction. He disappears into this alleyway, and as you were approaching the alleyway, a woman dressed in dark clothes with a bloodied dagger emerges from that alleyway. You see Windemir going, "Oh," but he's not unconscious. So what do you want to do?
Apparently, I'm singing a bard song because I don't think Merle is very physical. But what else
Okay.
am I going to do? Oh, yeah. So what is it going to be? It is going to be a fiery.
Fiery.
Hang on. Oh God. A fiery anthem of blah, fury.
Fury. Now remember what you're trying to do here. Sing one to pull off a potent feat of emotional influence or interrupt any impact move. So you can either you may not want her to be furious.
No. I was thinking of influencing everyone else
Oh,
to crowd
yeah.
up on her to stop her from escaping and
Right.
using somebody else's brawn that I don't have.
Fine. No, I had not thought about that at all. Right, let's have you untick one of your bard songs.
Yeah.
And let's have you roll with presence. I've given you 1 point of starting spark.
Which means
You can spend spark to add a d6. So currently you're rolling 3d6. I'm going to give you an extra one because this is follow up on your critical arrival. You're at just the right point at just the right thing. You've been belting this anthem out as you race across the market square. People follow you. They see a woman with a bloody dagger. It becomes clear what you're looking to happen, but let's see if they act. So you're currently rolling 4 dice. You could spend spark to make it 5.
No, I think I'm gonna leave it at 4. Although actually no, let's just spend it. There's not that much time left. Well,
okay.
so many 5s.
So mixed success. Certainly you have got people coming. So you do it, but the GM makes an impact move. I'm not going to make an impact move because I'm going to take some suspense instead. You have some people giving chase.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't think you can stop her, but there are people giving chase. What do you want to do?
What do I want to do?
Because there's now a hue and cry. They've picked up on your tales of there's been a murder, or grievous bodily harm, and they are in pursuit. Okay,
Hmm.
what are you
Ooh,
going to do? Well, look, I'll let you think about that while I
yes.
cut back to Valeria. Valeria, you're heading back towards the market square with news. Are you still in your otherworldly form?
I don't think I mean, I think once I feel like I'm not, in danger, I think I would go back to my regular form.
Okay. I am curious whether you want to take a chance of encountering a figure in a dark clothes that ran from the market square in your direction or not. Are you keen to try? Would you be upset if you encountered them or not? Because
No, I don't think.
I'm going to make you do a story roll
Uh-huh.
to choose between those two things, right?
Okay.
So you are not afraid of encountering someone.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So then you can have a 3D story roll with
Mhm.
success being you encounter the running figure.
Okay.
Okay. So roll 3D6. You're looking for success.
All right. Let me wait a minute.
And that 5 gives you success, but you don't get a drop on them. Right.
Mhm.
So it's not a question of them coming around the corner and you're all set. I think you're both equally surprised. So what I'm imagining is in one of these narrow, winding lanes that you've made your way through to get to where you went, you step into there just as a hooded, dark-clothed figure steps into the other side of the alley, and there's that kind of that music from the good, the bad, and the ugly, ding, 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 ding,
Mhm.
as their death magician and our warlock face off at opposite ends of the alleyway. So, Windemir, you've heard the Bard song. You saw this figure just disappear out of the alleyway, and then you hear a hue and cry. What do you do?
Do you and Cry, that was that the merchant from the direction where the merchant died?
That was back in the market square. Yeah, it looks like there's
Okay.
a hue and cry pursuing the woman who backstabbed you.
Okay. Uh, I try to follow the woman that stabbed me. I do see Cena and say, "Oh, thank the gods you're here." Uh, and I say, yeah, the warrior killed himself. But
So yeah, so you and Xena are reunited. There is a at the tail of a group of local citizens disappearing down an alley on the opposite side of the market square, presumably in pursuit of this figure. Yeah,
I follow them.
fine. Uh, Merle,
There's a lot of racing around here, isn't
there
there?
is, there is.
I have so little action. I'm wondering if I'm just singing another song. True. I don't know what else to do, to be honest.
You've incited a hue and cry. The question is, do you want to pursue the hue and cry? Because Sir Windermere is heading in that direction.
Mm. Well, I wonder if there's anything else that would be interesting, to be honest. I could.
There's a body in the
Oh,
alleyway.
true. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe I will just be like, you are much better suited to this. And hopefully my song has helped, gather the crowds enough. And I might turn to, I don't know. I guess I'm not actually taking the paper, right? Because I'm seeing that this is happening, that this has happened to them. But I might just sort of like try and look at the body and secure the murder weapon so that nobody else gets
I mean, you're all
harmed.
right. The murder weapon just left the alleyway. Well, if there was anything like a murder weapon, it was Sir Windemir's shield that crushed him against the wall.
Oh, sorry, no, I was thinking of the letter.
Oh, the merchant. I beg your pardon. Sorry, the dead merchant. Yes.
I got everything mixed up.
Too many bodies, so little time. So fine. No. So Merle, you head back to where there's a little group of people that, they've heard you drawing attention to someone, hue and cry. Now this is going on here. It's all very worrying. But yeah, you push them apart, and there is the merchant's body. You remember the merchant? Because he is the one that Frodo ended up negotiating with for that medallion or amulet, whatever we're calling it. What do you do?
It's another let me through, Bard coming through
Yes.
moment. Yeah, I think I will have a look at the body and try to what's it called? What is the word? Well, investigate. No, not investigate. You
Yeah,
know what I
investigate
mean.
the body. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Because I have my healer background.
You have signs of ailment.
I mean, in fairness, it seems like almost useless, to be honest, because clearly there's some kind of either poisoning or maybe some magical stuff going on. But I'm gonna try
So
anyway.
there were sigils burned through.
Yeah,
the
there's
person's head.
there's some sigils now burned into the dead man's face.
Oh, well, so it's
Uh,
not really poisoning,
Well, I
guess.
mean, you can roll if you like, but I think you're banking on some kind of magical death magic here. I mean, the one in the center of his
Okay.
forehead has to look vaguely like a skull.
Oh,
That's not to
fantastic.
say that there may not be something worth investigating. If you've got a question, I'm very happy to respond to it. There is a piece of paper, a piece of parchment in his hand.
Well, the only yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna try and, as I said, secure that piece of paper without getting
Fine,
cursed myself.
you have that piece of parchment. The seal is broken, and yeah, there it is. What do you want to do?
Oh, seems to have been a one-time effect after all. Well, I guess I'm just gonna pocket it. I don't think I have the skills to do anything more with this thing.
I mean, you've got a wit of 3.
True, I guess. I'm just wondering if there's anything new to be learned about this. Like, is the problem, It's just maybe this was once again I was following the wrong lead. Just
Okay,
like the last 1.5 hours.
you are in the market square with a piece of parchment and a body and a small ring of people, probably with Annika Giffard, the captain of the guard, arriving to see what on earth is going on outside her watch house. Valeria. Dang, 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 dang. What do you do?
I think in good Western fashion, Valeria is going to try a bluff here. I think Valeria is going to cast a cantrip.
Go on.
But the cantrip's going to take the form of, in the middle of the alley in front of this figure that has just appeared. She wants a sigil to appear. Something that looks kind of like the sigil that blew up in my face, right? But the bluff being right that this figure would think that, oh, I somehow have this
Similar
kind of
powers.
these kinds of powers of powerful warding or something like that.
Okay. Let's have you do that thing then. You're trying to convince them to, what do you want this to what outcome are you seeking? An advantage or a, cowardly retreat from them or what?
Yeah. I think if it was fully effective, that they might think, oh no, I can't go this way anymore, and they would like, think
Okay,
that they needed to go
okay.
a different way. Yes.
Let's see how well you sell it with three presents.
Okay. And here we go. I got a 4.
Mixed success. So I think you get hesitation.
Mhm.
And the mixed success is going to be me taking some more suspense. Um, so they're not going to do anything. You've got an
Right.
opportunity to do something before they do something. Up to Sir Windemir. Uh, citizenry are in pursuit of this woman in dark clothes. What, if anything, are you doing, Windermere? Apart from chasing.
Yeah, I think I heard the same song that Merle sang that the crowd. So I do feel like a bit of fury, but I'm trying to stay calmer and not get driven by emotion, by pure emotion. But I don't think this crowd can. Yeah, I think they're in danger if they're gonna try to engage with this woman. Uh, I'm gonna try to see if I can get to her first. Uh, they have a
Okay.
head start on me, but
Then I think it's possible if you take that turning and then
yeah,
try to go that way, you could get ahead of her. But I think it's going to be wits. Have you got
yeah,
this is this the right turning?
I agree. Let's see. We'll do 2d6 and uh, why are you doing that, Paladin? Uh, sheesh. All right. Um,
Okay, so you do it, but there's going to be impact, and the impact is I'm going to take some suspense.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, you get ahead of her, and she runs into this. It's a place where two or three alleys come together. So there's a kind of slightly larger space in there, and what do? You plant yourself in the middle of that as she comes around a corner and runs into that space.
Yeah, and I have my sword out and the shield, and I just say surrender. And
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So is this authority?
yes.
Is this a potent feat of righteous command of a
Uh, I can I say yeah?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, you've got admiration, obedience, respect, defiance. I don't think that she's going to obey because she's just trying to kill you. Um,
Yeah.
so the GM judges an NPC's response, or you can spend story to set it. So do you want to send story and get obedience, or will you take whatever I choose?
I'll spin a story.
Go ahead then. So you've got two to play with. What do you want obedience? Do you want to bring her to
Uh, yeah, yeah. I want her to
and so,
surrender.
there's that stop in the name
Yeah.
of pick a god, any god will do. And she comes to a stop. She obeys. Let me go back to Merle. You've got this piece of paper. You've got Annika Giffard, the captain of the guard, who is a fan, remember.
Hmm.
What do you want to do?
I think I will push that piece of paper into her hands. This was on that man's body. I think this is what killed him. Um, I'm not sure if there's anything else I could do here, but you know, maybe you are better suited to deal with this. And I think I rush after. Oh, maybe I'll ask her. Maybe she's come with a horse. was like, can I borrow this?
I am content for there to be a horse tethered outside the watch house. And as she is a fan of yours, if you say, can I borrow that horse for an hour? She will take the piece of paper and say, yes, of course.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. So
And
I
then
shall.
you do what?
Well, I hope that from my higher vantage point, I can actually see where Sir Windemir is going so that I can follow in pursuit because I feel like there's only
I
bodies here.
I think time has passed, so the you might be able to see the tail of the citizenry in pursuit, but I don't think you know where Windermere's gone.
Okay, fine.
So do you
Um,
pursue the citizens who are pursuing the
well,
assassin
let
or
me
not?
let me ask you this way. What do I see anything that seems um imminently important from my higher vantage point on
Okay,
horseback?
that's an interesting. Let me look at my clocks at the minute. Oh yes, yes. I think that you notice um a body of troops, ruffians, a body of ruffians uh, come into the market square uh, through the main access that runs back to the gate.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's a group, a couple of handfuls of ruffians. Um, and yeah, they look dangerous. They look like they're looking for trouble.
Do they look like they are like affiliated with what we are pursuing, or is it just okay, they look like
No, they look like dangerous cutthroats.
another just I don't know, an opportunist sort of attack or whatever?
Opportunistic attack. Something I didn't fill you in on, which we discovered when I did a roll just before we started, was that the death of the priest last time and the discovery that everyone's favorite barmaid, Lidi, was actually a deadly disciple of darkness. Um, the bandits are now miles ahead of either mayoral candidate in terms of taking over the town.
Oh, okay.
They have one dice left to establish control. Lots of people are saying, well, lots of people. Our garbage collector discussed with Valeria the fact that people are saying that maybe throw ourselves on the mercy of the bandits because
At
I'm
least they get things done.
they get things done and they're losing faith in electoral decisions.
Grand. Well, I think if I see that and think, well, we don't need any more of this nonsense, muddling the water, not muddling, muddying the waters here. I think I will ride into their direction in order to sort of cut off
Oh
their
wow!
pursuit, and then from horseback while riding along their sort of lines, sing another song.
Don't tell me about the bard song yet. I want the suspense of the bard song.
Sure.
Um, Sir Windemir, she stops. She is masked. She has the knife in one hand that she cut you with. What do you do?
I I'm gonna spend a story point.
To do what?
I know her. She knows me. She
Um,
used
you need fictional positioning for this.
I used to be a bard, and of course bards associate with other bards, which is what she
Eh,
used to be.
Your wises, areas of knowledge, experience, or awareness, legends and tales, crowd behaviors, and stage presence. You can't stretch entertainer that far.
Okay. Let's see. All right, looking at my character. All right. Yeah, I don't know if this would fall under Legends and Tales. She's not just she's not just a disciple, she's a priestess of this dark god.
Oh, hey ho, tiddly toe. Okay. I'm prepared to have you spend a story point on that. Um, what do you want to do with that?
Uh she's she's more inclined to see this through the end rather than just like, bite her poison pill if she has one. Um,
Okay. Okay. Fine. She has some future role to play.
yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I've got that in my head.
Okay.
Valeria, you won you won an interval to do something. What do you do with that little bit of pause that grants you plus 1d6 perhaps?
Um, Valeria, seeing the pause, takes the opportunity to kind of dash out of view of that figure. Um, and I think what she wants to do then is go on and put back on the otherworldly form again, so that I'm
Fine.
not I'm not
So duck around the corner, adopt otherworldly form, and step back out, or wait to see what happens.
I want to try to follow this figure.
Okay, okay. So you duck out of the way. Uh, they run towards where you were, but they take a different route. It appears that they are heading back towards that building where you've just been.
Okay.
So Windemir has kind of issued a formal challenge, it seems to me, that this is important. Merle, I do want to know what you do when, citizens are backing off from this group of ruffians, and yet you, sitting proud a horse, do what?
So, as I said, I think I am sort of riding along the lines, the line between the citizens and the bandits. A bit in the style of sort of a military commander that is rousing the troops, but instead, I'm not singing some militaristic chant to, boost up morale or anything. I'm singing a rousing ballad of affection, which is, how do you say that? Well, the intention is to remind everyone of their, I don't know, how do you say? Let's be
They have,
super cheesy, of their common humanity, and how all of this infighting is really just destructive for everyone. And I'm imagining these ruffians starting to just sort of like soften in their faces and just starting to
we have more.
embrace each other,
There is
etc.
more. There's more. We have more in common than that which divides us.
Yeah.
Let's have you roll with presence. 3 dice.
Okay, hang on. Do I have anything else? No, I'm just gonna roll the 3 dice and see what happens.
A 4
A
mixed
4.
success. So yeah, the inherent aggression and of the bandits declines. The fear of the citizenry declines, but there is an impact which I will take in the form of suspense.
How
Um,
much suspense is Alan hoarding here?
I've got 4 so far. Just in case I need to just do something. Um, and so there is, you've won a pause, I think. But you've not. They're not going to be embracing. That would have been 6 and more. Yeah.
Sure.
But certainly, the townsfolk are not as worried as they were. and the bandits are not so prone to immediate violence as they perhaps were. Fair enough?
Well, better than the previous situation, so
Okay.
I'll take it.
Sir Windemir, what do you do? You've stopped her. You've declared the story that she has a part to play later. What do you do?
Yeah, I tell her, surrender now. You're Val- what do I know about their god? Was it Valida?
Belitha, a spirit demigod, uh, appeared on Earth to lead the darkness in its rising some generations ago. All-round bad dude.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna use my knowledge of tales and legends and ancient histories,
Okay, to do what?
and whatever prophecy about Letha's rising that she would know of. This is not the right time. The signs, she's reading the signs wrong, and she needs to just wait if she hasn't, and or she could try and just fail.
Okay, I then that sounds like presence to convince her. I am going to put two thorns in because she is a confirmed disciple of darkness. So you are pushing a boulder up a hill here.
All right. No, that don't work. Would this be a potent feat of righteous command?
Oh, that's a different thing. Push yourself to pull up a potent fleet of righteous command, e.g., order demon to kneel or silence a rat with a word. I think that is possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I think I mean it doesn't seem like I need a roll. So I think if you push yourself, i.e., erase that push, what is your potent feat of righteous command? Begone, foul creature of the night.
Yeah.
Let's boil it down to a righteous command.
Uh, yeah, I say, everything, her plans are falling apart. Her Lidi is dead. Her main fighter is dead. Uh, the death mage has fled. Um, your ranks are thinner than you think, and the people here are stronger than you think. Uh, Flee now, because you have no hope here, and your darkness will not prevail.
And there's a look of shock and horror in her eyes, and she leaps up the wall and clambers up it onto the rooftops. She has fled.
All right, good.
Hong Kong Kung Fu movie style.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's narrow, isn't it? She could always put one hand on each wall. Yeah, and run up
I
the
was
wall.
thinking of Jackie Chan there, but
Yes,
sure.
yes. Valeria, are you seeking to pursue this person discreetly? Now you are barely visible, so you'll have plenty of bonuses going. But I'm just curious, what do we see?
Yeah, yeah, she wants to get whatever information she can from this figure, and initially this is going to be just following her. She doesn't want to be seen by that figure, right? So, I think, I'm not running
Then,
right down the middle,
that's
but
fine. No, I think that given that you know where they're running to, or you think you do, and you're going to be proved right, I don't think it'll be you roll. You are barely visible. And apart from a quick glance over their shoulder to make sure that you weren't hiding in an alleyway and are now running after them, I think you see them enter that square that you know. dash across to that building that you know, go through that door that you know, and presumably go up the stairs inside to the room that you know.
Right.
What do you do?
Um, I think, and this maybe this would be invoking. I think I still have a story
Okay.
to. So, I mean, I'm wary of going in to that uh door, but I mean, kind of, even though I'm new to Galen, I mean, I kind of know how these buildings are, um, how they're
I, I,
built,
I
and
think you're pushing on practical wisdom here, aren't you?
yeah, yeah, and so I want to get a good view into that room, but not from the door. I'm gonna like seek a a nearby building, which has a window or a rooftop where I can hopefully kind of gaze in,
Yeah,
from
I'd
there
go
to
with
see.
that. I will allow you to know that if you go in the door next door
Hmm.
and go up, because you know actually in the one you went up to, there was a skylight that threw some light down into the stairwell.
Hmm.
Practical wisdom tells you it's probably the same next door. I go up, I go through that skylight, I go across a couple of feet, and I'll
Hmm.
be over that room.
Yeah,
Does that seem fair?
yeah, yeah.
Fine. Spend the story point. We cut to you emerging from a skylight onto a roof 3 stories up. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, Merle,
Yes.
you've established you've stopped immediate violence,
Yes.
and the townspeople are not running screaming from the market square.
I
What's next?
I wonder if um okay, here we go. I wonder if this could be a moment to spend my last bit of coin I mean as in story, not coin. Um but I don't know if that works in that. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you what I want to do
Yeah.
in terms of story. Um, because, well, I am trying to, invoke this sort of, common humanity, and aren't we all better off working together rather than, this cutthroat, blah, blah, blah. And I wonder if, okay, this might be a little bit over the top, but first of all, my first question is, could this be combined as in my story point being that, what's her name again? Where's the clocks? Ira Del Rain might be making an appearance here, noticing, how, well, her townsfolk really, her common people that she is so concerned about, are really under threat here, and she would do well to try and, join me in my appeal for this sort of, mutual support rather than
Okay.
getting
Yeah.
all
No.
over the place.
I,
Now,
I'm going to allow that to be spotting marks because it seems to me that you want to manipulate Ira into doing the right thing.
well, I don't know if I feel like I'm trying to support her in her quest
Okay.
also, but
Then social graces.
the
Yeah.
other thing, I don't know if that makes sense, if that works together, but I wonder if the bandits being sort of another faction, maybe I know one of these people, in terms of friendly face, and they are like reminded of our past and how they only went back. Maybe
Uh,
that's too much, I understand.
I think friendly face is you need to be somewhere else for you. You've got a
Yes,
friendly
sure.
face. It's
That's
Annika.
fine.
So Annika is there. She's
Yeah.
available as her watchman, but it feels like she's keeping them back, waiting to see how this is going to
Mhm.
fall out. She doesn't want to prompt any violence by appearing on the scene. Um, I mean, spotting marks. I would allow you to spend story point to identify someone in the bandits that you think you could influence as a
Mm,
mark.
yeah. Well, or we do the social graces with Ira Del Reign and hope for the fact that, people remember her.
I'm very happy for you to spend story point to have Ira Del Reign in the market square with pushing forward with among the citizenry to stand at your side.
Yeah,
If
and sort
that's
of,
what you'd like.
with maybe her, like, because people know her and people know the
Yeah,
good she's done for the
yeah, yeah,
town,
yeah.
etc. So I'm hoping that that'll help the community sense of this town rather than, all of this. I don't know.
No, that
Language
works for me.
not my thing today.
That works for me. Um, Valeria, you're on the roof. You know the this is a bad part of town. The tiles are a bit dodgy, but it's just 3 paces to the window that your vision looked out of. Do you go to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to peer in and get
I hoped you were going to say that you were going to do your best to get there. You are still in your otherworldly form, aren't you?
yes. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So we know they're not. It's no more agile than you, is it?
No, no. And I didn't write because like I didn't pick you know, move swiftly or something. Some of those would suggest more agility. I don't think that my form is more agile than right.
Fine. So let's make sure that you don't slip on the roof, shall we?
Yes.
Now I notice your agility is 1, and it is currently has a tick on it.
Yeah, so it has a thorn. Yeah.
So that's 1 dice and a thorn.
Hmm.
Are you sure you want to try this, Valeria? I'm just curious
Yeah.
because that is a 3-story drop to the ground. I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page on that.
Yeah, I think she's feeling confident though with this. I mean, she's well,
Fine.
or if not confident, I mean, it is, my patron is all about uncovering the
It
truth. I think
is.
it really is that strong
There is a drive
curiosity.
here. There is a
Yeah,
drive. If you
yes,
didn't go and look, I would probably make a patience roll for your patron.
for my patron. Yeah, I think my patron definitely is interested in right. What
So
is it?
1d6, 1 red 8-sided dice. What could go wrong?
And the eight-sided die, I want that low, correct?
You want to avoid a 7 or 8.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go.
Well, that's a failure,
But
but
yeah,
it's not a disaster.
right.
It is not cut down to a disaster. So this failure means that you do not get there, right? Now,
Right.
I will offer you a hard choice here, right? That hard choice is um, you get there, but you're hanging from the guttering, or you don't get there. A tile slips off and you have second thoughts.
I I like I get there and I'm hanging from the guttering though.
Fine. So you're hanging from the guttering below the window. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Quite the
As
literal
the
cliffhanger.
as the guttering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Bubbles.
Sir Windemir,
If only we had a monk.
the story declared priestess has disappeared up to the rooftops. What do you do? And then a group of people come round the corner saying, "Where did she go? Sir Windemir, where did she go?"
I I say you've done a good job, citizens. You've chased her off. Uh, I'm heartened that you are here, willing to fight for your home and for your families and for Gaelenvale. Uh, please
And
spread the word. Yeah, you are
oh,
stronger together.
a good paladin speech is made, and then wafting over the town, you hear this song of that almost seems to build on what you've just said to them. We have more in common than that which divides us. Strength in unity, and yeah, wafting over from the market square. Now, knowing Merle as you do, you know that they don't unleash a bard song unless there is need.
Right.
You know, they just don't go whistling bard songs around. So something is going on in the market square. Valeria, you are hanging by your fingertips. I'm inclined to play through now rather than take another break because I've realized I've passed 4 o'clock as well. So, Merle, you've got Ira Delrain. What do you want to do with her?
Good question. Well, I want her to, I guess, excuse me. Well, join me in this appeal to common decency, mutual support and affection, and hopefully that'll help. I guess what as I said, maybe remind the citizenry of all the good she has done and how they have benefited from being in community, and maybe, just maybe we can combine this with spotting marks. Maybe that also reminds somebody within that group, that I'm seeing that who used to be part of this community, right? And who just fell in with the wrong people. And remembering, she was distributing food to the needy. And, some of those people, these bandits, not everyone is just pure evil, right? They are just like doing things out of necessity. And they realize, wait, this is a leader who actually, cares for, the have-nots and, all of that. That's what I'm trying to do.
And I suppose what I'm seeking here is I get that you want people to feel more comfortable together. Are you looking for Ira to negotiate with the bandits? Are you hoping the bandits are just going to turn over a new leaf and join the community?
Well, at least some of them, and hopefully that the community will, rather than trying to just, just surrendering to them, be like, no, actually, hang on, you, fuck off. You know what I mean? As in, and maybe,
Okay.
Unite behind her because me, the player, is hoping that apart from pulling off a gig,
Okay.
maybe we can
Okay.
help Ira.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this as an attack on the bandits, right?
Okay.
And we'll see how many of them back off.
And
So go
just
on.
saying, I'm happy to sing my last bard song if you think that is necessary to, rouse everyone
I think
even
that
more.
I think you've done what you can with your bard song. I think
Okay.
this now comes down to your presence. So 3 dice. I'll give you 1 for Ira Delrain. Yeah. And I'll give you do I want to give you anything else? No, I think I'll leave you there's your 4 dice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there
To
any
see
way?
how well this comes together.
Is there any way? I have not really understood. Is there any? Well, I guess I don't really have any moves that have a push thing, right?
You can push any of your brawn, agility, wit, presence, a relevant one.
Ah,
You can put a tick underneath it and get an extra d6. The pushes on the side of the moves are additional pushes, so you don't
right.
have to mark a characteristic.
Because I literally
So,
have never used them. So I'm
so I would
just
allow you to push your presence. You can put a
sure.
tick under presence, and that makes it a temporary 4, plus Ira is 5.
Sure. I feel like there's not much gotta, there's not that much time left, so we're gonna go all in. Oh no, I've accidentally only rolled 4. I'm gonna have to roll
Well,
another
can
one.
I just suggest you've got a pair of 6s there? So if I was you, I'd just settle.
I mean, sure, if you allowed me that,
Yeah,
I will just
because
uncheck this
the,
box.
the other one is not going to be any different.
No.
So you've ticked presence. You have a critical success. A
Nice.
critical success.
Mhm.
This is an 8 dice group of bandits. I'm going to let you roll 8 dice. 1, 2s, and 3s are the ones who defect.
All right. 8 d6s.
Yeah.
Let's use some other fantastic color to make.
Two of them.
Well,
So the 8 dice becomes.
Can you imagine? There's
6
4
dice.
6s on here.
But I know. I mean, if only that, God, them black dice are just used up now. But because you rolled a critical success, it says choose greater or secondary effect or set up a follow-up. I'll either allow you a follow-up, as now the remaining bandits revert to we're going to take over this town, or I'll let you roll 7 dice to see whether any have second thoughts when they see one of their fellows pass across.
Let's roll more dice. Dice roll.
7 dice. 7 dice. Oh, 6 dice. 6 dice, sorry.
6, yeah. I think 2 defect, right?
Yeah. So you roll 6 dice and you're looking for low numbers. Because 2 guys kind of walk across and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more follow them.
That was a good gamble.
You're left with their leader and 1 other person. Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, is it 1?
Yeah, there's an 8 dice group of 5, 6, 7. 2 on the first one, 5 on the second one. Yeah?
Yeah, so I'm left with the leader. Full
You're
stop,
left with the leader and 1 of the raiders.
Oh, okay, fine.
Because the leader's never going to change sides.
Yeah, so it's the lick spittle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just over here.
I'll stay with you, Isoria. Don't you worry. I'll be loyal to the end. Let us cut back to Valeria, hanging by her fingertips in her barely visible form. People are thinking, what's that funny misty kind of catching the light up there? What do you want to do, Valeria?
Well, I want to try to get myself up on that roof and see what's going in there.
Happily, you have done away with that mark on agility.
Yeah.
Is it the agility of swinging your legs up onto the guttering so you can clamber up? Or is it the naked strength of your arms as you pull yourself up? So it's roll 1 dice or 2 dice and a thorn.
Yeah. I think she'll try the brawn here.
Okay. 2 dice and the red thorn.
And the red thorn, and then I untick that one.
And you can untick that one. Yeah, absolutely. Win or lose.
What could go wrong here? Let's see. Yeah, so she kind of takes a deep breath in and exerts herself. The thorn didn't come into play, but
no, it didn't. No, so that's just a straightforward Grim. You fail, and the GM makes an impact move. There comes a point when you run out of options. Yeah. And we see you pulling up, and you get your elbow on top of the guttering, and your elbow on top of the guttering, and then the guttering peels away from the wall.
Right. Yeah.
Mark bloodied.
Okay.
And there is a kind of in the dust when this barely visible form lands, and I think probably you lose concentration on the otherworldly form.
Yeah.
And this kind of stunned person hits the ground. Sir Windemir, have you returned to the marketplace?
Oh yeah, I'm looking for Merle and what caused the song.
And you come
Not hard to spot.
You come into the market square at the point where Ira Del Rain is saying, look, you can always come home. And Merle has set up the idea that, there's that you don't have to take this place by violence. You could become part of this place. And we're left with Isoria, the leader of the bandits, and her lickspittle. And then Dun dun dun. I spend suspense.
Oh no.
Was.
And behind you, on the steps of the temple, we hear Leaf Graxon.
Of course.
They may be offering you partnership. I offer you power. Join me and my men, and we will establish this town under appropriate leadership. You, young woman, and he points at Izoria, the leader of the bandits, you would become my left-hand man, or woman, or person if you prefer. The rest, you would be powerful in Galen. Valeria, what do you do when you pick yourself up and think, oh, dear God?
Yeah, I think well, this may be appropriate for, the timing of things too. I think, Valeria, she thinks to herself, well, at least at the very least, I have followed the advice of Sir Windemir.
I'm not
I
engaged.
I've not engaged, and I'm sure that he would follow his own advice as well, and hasn't engaged anyone either. And so, this may be the time to kind of peacefully, back away and find Sir Windemir, and I'll just let him and Merle know what I have discovered, because certainly nothing, nothing got unduly disturbed on my half, and I'm sure that they have everything under control on their half as well.
So I think the last in this episode, because I'm just the last point in this episode, I think, is we see Valeria, hand resting on a wall to stay upright and just gradually making her way down an alleyway back towards the marketplace. Sir Windemir, you see Leaf Draxon on one side of the market square, you see the bandit leader on the other side of the market square, and you see the citizenry and Merle and the city watch, the town watch, and Ira Del Rain in the middle of the market square. What do you do? What's the last thing we see you doing in this episode?
God.
I.e., where do you want to be set up
That's-
for next time?
I say a lot of choices must be are it seems a lot of choices are going to be made that affect Gaelenvale and the lives of all who are present. I think these choices should not be made in haste. So let the two mayoral candidates and uh, a representative of the bandits, whoever they choose, speak in private so that the
Okay,
fate of all may be determined.
so you're making a speech.
Yeah.
Valeria is limping back to the market square. Merle, is there anything we see you do, or any setup you want for the start of the next session?
I completely forgot we had another session. I thought this is, go all out, but let's try and go all out anyway. Because I feel like this is definitely the right point to sing another bard song, because Leaf Graxon has just come onto the playing field. And I
Okay.
think it shall be, wait, let me check. I don't actually know. M.A. I feel like none of these styles really work.
Okay,
I
well,
think
pick another one.
vicious, not vicious, more like, piercing, I guess. Piercing, I would like to say.
Okay.
A piercing, a piercing. Okay, a piercing chant of, what is the word? I don't think truth makes sense, of clarity. There we go. Piercing chant of clarity. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Even though none of those things are there apart from chant.
No,
Because
but that's
I
fine.
think Merle will be, singing this very easily repeated chant that is pointing out how Leif Graxon is the law and order guy, the let's be tough on crime guy. You will not be actually, welcomed with open arms. And also, look, citizenry, look how quickly he can turn from one side to the other. Clearly, this guy has not got your best interest at heart. And the clarity, I hope, will befall both sides, the bandits who were about to, come over, and our citizenry to completely discredit Leif Graxon's whatever.
Let us unleash your deep, mesmerizing voice and roll 3 dice.
Grand. Let's see.
A 5. It certainly seems to me that no one leaps to take Graxon's offer. It's not like the bandit leader says, yes, lads, let's join him. So we still have the standoff, but it hasn't swung to Graxon. Yeah, does that seem like a fair outcome?
Sure.
And the mixed success takes the form of me taking suspense. And that, I think, is where we finish. Yes, that I think is where we finish this time. Yeah. Quick stars and wishes. What do we think?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rod.
Yes. I'll start you out, Alan, for just like, giving the players choices, giving us hard choices sometimes. And also the part with the garbage man, the garbage collector, wishing that he wouldn't look as bad as Valeria.
Yeah.
When
I
he
had
got
no
to
idea this was such a dangerous career.
Um, for Robbie, the kaleidoscopic effect on the metal flakes of the scimitar at the tavern was cool. Just watching Valeria investigate the sketchier parts of the town, that was cool. And then really trying to get on that roof with that one agility and being determined to go for it was a lot of fun. And Zena, I really love how you used your songs this episode. Trying to get the ruffians, with the ballad of affection and Kumbaya, and then at the end trying to turn it against Leif Graxon. I thought was very inspired. So thank you.
I think attacking bandits with a comforting song that home is still home was delightful. Any wishes for next time, Rod? For our actual finale?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, just more the same.
Okay. Zena, again, my apologies for leaving you sitting in the waiting room while we got very excited with what was going on around the market square. Any stars, any wishes?
Well, I also have to apologize for the delay, but yeah, stars. I just thought it was great that the whole Western scene of Valeria meeting the dark-robed figure, and then your sort of what was it, the cantrip to go like, oh, actually, let me fool you into believing this and that. Yeah, that was great. And of course, hanging off of that thing. Yeah, great scenes all around. And I really enjoyed seeing Sir Windemir once again, really showing us what he's made of with the whole like, yes, thank you very much, brave citizenry of da da da. And we should not be making decisions in haste. Not really Merle style, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks very much. I don't know, wishes. I think I'm afraid my bard is a bit of a one-trick pony, but then I guess that is part and parcel of, going 3 on wit and presence and 1 on all the other stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to find ways to do stuff.
three on wit and presence means you're at least a 2-trick pony.
Sure.
So fine, and I think the fact that you can use bard songs to attack people, to erode their belief in things, it's a weapon. It's a weapon.
Yeah.
Not just a narrative tool.
It's literally just me sitting there staring at the words, going, "How can I use this?" But yeah, I guess that's what it is. I don't know if that's a wish. A wish, I guess, of figuring out more ways of influencing stuff without getting handsy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You use more bard songs is down here. Okay. Robbie, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, I liked Merle's dramatic appearance, to kind of get things rolling very quickly for her arrival on the scene. Sir Windemir, I love the consistency of Sir Windemir always trying to be this voice of kind of moderation or kind of reflection and that, but also Windermere, when he needs to take action. I mean, there was some good some good fight scenes that were fun. I liked Alan, just the way that all of these factions are kind of it's not like we're just focusing on one or another right now, but there's a lot of kind of interconnection that's going on that I'm enjoying. So yeah, I'm great session today. I'm looking forward to the last session. I guess I know Valeria is as she hobbles along is interested in. She still has that piece of parchment with the strange script on it that she hasn't really had chance to study. So I think that my patron is probably very interested in what might be able to be gleaned from that. So that'll be good. And yeah, yeah, I don't know that I have other big wishes. I mean, there's a lot of kind of loose ends right now, and I guess just hoping that at least one of those loose ends will get tied up at the end.
And who knows? We're expecting Frodo our monk to reappear, having spent a little time up the Vale in search of Magnus Kilgore. So who knows what'll happen? My stars, Robbie, the absolute enthusiasm and self-belief that saw 1 dice in agility as the logical route to a roof. Zena, the endless variety of using the old bard songs. I think, if you may be a one-trick pony, but you are using that trick in a variety of different contexts. That's great. And yet, so Windemir, Rod, is a really nice paladin. I had a friend recently who said, I hate playing with paladins because they're always fascists. It's always about their religion and they're the best and all that stuff. And yet this is a real paladin looking for the best. And that's been a really nice turn. And every time I've offered you the chance to finish someone, you found an elegant way around it. So I'm very impressed. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a finale. I'm looking forward to having Mark back and with a Valetha. Yeah? Okay. Then I will see you next time. I have a horrible feeling we may have a change of have our clocks gone back or forward yet? I don't know. I'm losing track.
No, they will change from Saturday to Sunday in Europe.
Right.
Yeah, so there will be a change for the other side of the pond.
I'm assuming that that our calendar takes account of that.
It does. I just checked it. It does.
Yeah.
And
But I think
is that okay for you two? It's not. It's
Yeah.
is that all right? It doesn't make it difficult for you to get. Okay.
No,
wanted-
yeah, I
I think
think
it
it's
changes back to the regular time for US, right? Because they just had
You've just had one.
yeah. So it'll go back to the previous time that we
so
started at.
Yeah, it should be 9 a.m. I think for Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fingers crossed. We'll be in the same channel, same bat channel, same bat time. I will see you next time. I'll stop the recording.
Mhm.